Hey everybody, it's me Arlene, Delicious Delights. So today I have another chit chat video for you guys. I have been hearing from some of you that you have been enjoying my super long chit chat videos. At the same time, I can honestly say that I am really enjoying the chit chat videos myself. It's just a way to express myself, share my thoughts and ideas and opinions, let you guys know what's going on with me, and it's also very therapeutic for me as well. And I haven't really reviewed anything lately. I am enjoying the break that I'm having from actually reviewing. I'm still talking about perfumes here and there, of course, but I just want to take a little break from that and just talk about other things that I'm into, stuff I'm interested in, trying to connect with you guys more on a personal basis. On this channel, you might have noticed that I don't really, or try not to talk too much about myself because I like to keep the focus on this channel on the perfumes. But have been in the mood lately just to open up a little bit. And I'm also discovering from you guys in the comments that I have stuff in common with you guys, and that feels really nice to me. All of you out there just feel like my friends, like my virtual friends online, and it's just nice that we can share passions and hobbies, not only perfume but other things. And I just really have enjoyed reading your comments. I apologize that I have been very behind in reacting or responding to comments lately. Things have been a little bit more busier this time of year, but I am reading everything. Thank you so much for all of your feedback. And I'm trying to kind of answer some of those questions through the Smelly Jar series that I've been doing, and also through these chit chats. So yeah, so I apologize for that. And so I kind of want to do another long chit chat video with you guys today. I have gotten a message from a viewer asking me to expand my thoughts of my previous video, to elaborate more, talking about digital detox or detox from social media. Not completely 100%, but using less of my time on social media, and spending more of my time with stuff that I really, really enjoy. Now, of course, I am on social media. That's how we're interacting right now on YouTube. But with YouTube, it's my favorite platform for social media. I have many channels that I am subscribed to. I enjoy YouTube so much. I learn so much. I find it very entertaining. And most of the time, I just stick to my subscription page. Sometimes I'll see something that interests me on the home trending page or in the sidebar. But most of the time, I stick to the subscription page just so that I can keep myself in check. But there's just so much to learn on YouTube, and I love YouTube. But as for other platforms of social media, the main ones are probably Facebook and Instagram. I use those too, but I've been very much limiting my time on those. So the viewer asked me to elaborate more on the shift that I've been doing or working on lately in my life, and how I'm doing it, what kind of prompted it. And so I will just talk about that, the process that I'm working on with it right now. Still working on it today, but it's getting better, and I'm noticing that I am enjoying life so much more when I know I'm spending my time more wisely and spending more time on things that are important to me. But before I get into that, I want to talk about perfume, of course, my scent of the day. And that scent is an oldie but goodie, one of my absolute favorites. This is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau de Toilette. I'm pretty sure you guys all know what this already smells like. This is like one of my favorites of all time. It's a very nostalgic scent for me. Very memorable. It has a lot of memories. It brings back a lot of memories for me and good memories. So I love this scent and it smells fantastic as well. It has the most perfect lemony citrus scent in it. For me, it doesn't go in that direction of cleaner, fortunately, but it's a crisp lemon, sparkling citrus opening. Also with a green apple note, which is like crispy and juicy and ripe as well. And it kind of makes my mouth pucker up a little bit with that note. And along with that, we have some clean florals and some musk and a nice soft woodiness in the base. And it just feels light and airy and fresh. And it's a very casual scent, but I can wear this for all occasions throughout the entire year. Of course, we are coming up to the winter time, and many of us reach for our winter scents, the heavier, dense scents in the winter time. But for me, I also like to wear freshies in the winter. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You can wear any scent you want any time of year, but freshies are good for me for the entire year. And so this one is my scent of the day. It's just so, it makes me happy. It's like a mood boosting scent for me that I never tire of. And this is the old bottle design. They have now changed the bottle design, and I have tested both, and the new one to my nose is different to this one. I prefer this bottle design, and I also prefer this formulation of light blue. So I did pick up some backups of it and a few of those big 200 ml bottles. So I do have enough to last me for quite a while. So yeah, that's my scent of the day. Let me know yours down in the comments. And now let's go back to the topic of today. Okay. I think I'm just going to have to wing it. I have a lot of things in my mind that I want to say. Hopefully this will turn out well. But let's just say that for the past years, especially when the big social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, when they started getting more and more popular. When they first came out, it was super fun. You can connect with old friends, even from elementary school and high school. It was so fantastic. Same with Instagram. I'm kind of late to the party with Instagram, but I also found it a nice, fun way to interact and share photos. This was before they even had the stories and stuff like that. So it started off as a very positive thing, especially with Facebook Messenger, a great way to stay in contact with people, especially in Canada, friends and family and stuff like that. So it was a very, very positive thing. So as the time went, many years have passed, I started to feel uncomfortable, and I didn't really know exactly what was causing this feeling of antsiness inside me. It took me a while to figure that out, but eventually I realized that too much use on Facebook and Instagram especially was having a negative impact on my life as a whole. So I started to feel antsy inside, kind of jittery, a little bit nervous, and I felt off. Also, scrolling on your phone on my phone, I felt it was like addictive, and I was looking for like those dopamine hits that you would get from seeing some funny reels or shorts or stuff like that. It just felt like I was on a high a little bit, and I didn't like that feeling it was giving me. It was just kind of heightening my feelings inside, like that my nervous system was just more on alert. I felt more alert, and I kept on getting these dopamine hits. And I felt like I would get a high from it, and then I'd kind of crash from it for a while until I went back to scrolling. So yeah, I also was exposed to more news, and more news is not good for me because most of it is bad news. They, of course, have some nice, funny, good stories in the news as well, but for the most part, it's always something scary, something about the economy, something about politics. Everything that's going on in the world is just way, way, way too much for me to handle because, yeah, it was just feeling so overwhelming for me, especially the news. And so it was kind of a feeling in me that kept growing and growing the more exposure that I got. And also the pace of everything. There's a lot of things going on that you see on social media that it just feels like I hit the fast forward button in my brain. It's just constantly going and going and going. And I'm thinking about the things that I've seen, and it kind of just stays in there. And all in all, it was impacting my life, where I was just feeling a lot of antsiness. So there was an event that happened last year that changed my whole life, and I haven't mentioned it on this channel yet. I lost someone very special to me, and it's super hard to talk about. It happened last year. I'll just say it. I lost my mom. Something that it was the most difficult thing for me to deal with in my entire life. I lost myself basically, and I had to find a way to find myself again. So this event also made me realize that my time is limited on this earth, and I have to make the most of my time. And then it went back to my thoughts of, what am I actually doing with my time? Apart from my everyday responsibilities with my free time, I have spent a lot of it on social media, on scrolling. And I decided then that I wanted to change things. And so I didn't want to take my time for granted anymore on this earth. I had to come to terms with my own mortality. And it was just so difficult, and it still is today. By the way, this was her signature scent, and it reminds me of her. So every time I smell this, I just have a lot of memories, and I like that about perfume. It's kind of like the perfect time machine where you can be taken back to any time in life. And this is definitely the scent that reminds me of her the most. So that's another reason why I wanted to wear it today. So yeah, that's basically what prompted this big shift. I wanted to make big changes in my life. I wanted to figure out who I want to be without the base that I have had. My mom. I have my dad still. I'm so grateful for him. Seriously, he is amazing. He's amazing. But I just basically wanted to find my way again. And so I kind of felt like I had to start life over again, start from square one. And I have decided that social media is fun and useful for the things that I need it for. So basically, I want to take what I'd like from social media, take what I want or need from social media, and then use the rest of my time focusing on things that I really, really enjoy. And a lot of those things have to do with how I spent my time before social media even became a thing. So this goes back to my previous video when I talked about I started listening to more music, discovering new music, but also listening to old music that I haven't listened to in a long time, getting back into electronic music the most, trance music, it's my favorite right now. Also getting back into books, especially classic literature. I even made a little reading corner in my house where I make it super cozy. And I even bought these vintage China teacups and teacups and saucers to kind of complement whatever I'm reading. So with a lot of the English classics that I have read lately, I would sit there with my nice little cup of tea in my vintage teacups, which I didn't bring up here. I should have, but they're so cute, and you can find them at the thrift store for super cheap. But it kind of just helps me kind of get even more immersed into the story, where I have my cute little cup of tea and a little biscuit, and I would sit there at the window in my little reading corner. I have my footrest there too. I have a little table beside me, a candle, a light, and it's just sets the atmosphere. I even bought some old coffee spoons as well that are silver, and they have like super cool metal designs on it. Like maybe I'll show it another time, but it just really does help me get into the mood even more. So with classic English books, I've been using really cute vintage China teacups and saucers, and it's super fun. And I even do perfumes or wear perfumes that complement the book as well. And I have been enjoying that as well. So for example, I read The Old Man and the Sea during the summer by Ernest Hemingway. And it's a wonderful, wonderful book. It actually made me bawl my eyes out at the end of it. And that time when I was reading that, I was wearing aquatic scents. Eau de Merveille Blue from Hermes was the one that I sprayed on while I was reading, and it kind of just put me into that whole environment of being on the sea with the salty sea breeze and, you know, that nice fresh kind of waves coming in from the sea and the scent from the sea. It's really fun to use perfumes to read along with books. And so it's a whole thing. So music, books, radio shows. Where was I going with all of this? Oh yeah. So I talked about the reason or what really pushed me into changing my life. I also have been going to the cinema more often. I have recently watched Back to the Future. That was a 40th anniversary, I believe, in the theater. And that was so much fun. Back to the Future was one of the movies that I had on VHS back in the 80s. And so back then we didn't have any streaming services or anything like that. So whatever we had on VHS is what we had to watch. And me and my brother used to watch Back to the Future over and over and over and over and over again. Now, of course, it's on some streaming sites. It's nice to watch at home in your pajamas and everything like that. But I really wanted to see it on the big screen as if it was like just released. And I did that with my best friend, who also is a huge fan. It was a childhood movie for them too. And we were just like two giddy people in the movie theater watching Back to the Future. And it just really felt like, those times when we didn't have streaming services. And so for a long time, I would go to the theater maybe once or twice a year. Now I have been going more often, and I actually am thinking about getting a subscription to have like unlimited access to the theater so that I can go to the cinema more often and see movies on the big screen. I also like that they play classics as well, sometimes from time to time, old movies from the past, that they play them on the big screen in the cinema. So Back to the Future came back for the 40th anniversary. I also saw, I think, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That one is an old movie that they have brought back to see in the cinema. But in any case, that's another thing that I would like to do and continue doing, going to the cinema more and watching movies on the big screen instead of home on Netflix and not having my phone on, just watching the movie and enjoying it. So that's another thing that I want to do with my life, or to add to my life, or do more in my life. Also, I have been getting more and more interested in physical media. So CDs, DVDs, especially. Now with CDs, they can be found, of course, super cheap at thrift stores, and just the whole idea of like having a physical CD in hand, it just, again, it feels super nostalgic. Yeah, I just really like CDs again. Well, of course, I like Spotify as well. That's super handy to have and use, and I do use it very often. But I've been getting more interested in getting back to CDs, or maybe owning my absolute favorites, CDs of artists that are my favorites. And so just to have that feeling of, you know, putting a CD into a player and listening to it that way. So DVDs as well, same story. I recently did a big haul of DVDs, movies. A lot of these movies aren't even on streaming websites. So I picked up a lot of classical or movie adaptations of classical books or classic books. Let me see here. The Charles Dickens collection I picked up, North and South from Elizabeth Gaskell, Jane Eyre from Bronte. There's a lot of movies. Sense and Sensibility from Jane Austen. There's a lot of movies. I think I picked up almost 30 DVDs or something like that, and they were like a buck or €1 or €2 each, and some of them were even 50 cents. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the book first, the classic book, and then I can watch the movie afterwards on DVD. So yeah, I'm feeling like I'm not really collecting it, but I'm getting back into it. And I just really like that idea and feeling of putting a DVD in the DVD player and watching movies that way. So I've been getting more into that. I'm thinking about getting into vinyl. I know it's been making a comeback for quite some time actually, but I'm actually just thinking about that. I don't know if I'm going to go through with that, but it's there. The seed is planted, but maybe I will also get back into vinyl too. But right now it's CDs and DVDs. Also, I want to spend more time with my current hobbies. Like I really, really enjoy hiking, and I like biking. More so when the weather is nice. In the winter, I kind of turn into a hermit and I like to hibernate and stay inside where it's warm. I'm noticing my tolerance for the cold is getting lower and lower because I was born and raised in Canada, in Winnipeg, and Winnipeg is like one of the coldest cities ever. Like I remember waking up in the morning, going to school, and with the wind chill, it would be like minus 35, 30, 40 even. I even remember 45 as well, and I think 52. So it's cold, like super, super cold with the wind chill. Now, I'm in the Netherlands now, and it's nowhere near minus any of that, not even near minus 10. But where's my temperature up here? Anyways, it's like in the nighttime it can get to like minus 3 or 4, and I'm already cold. But I have noticed that the type of cold here in the Netherlands is different from the type of cold in Canada. So in Canada, you get this kind of really dry cold. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just feels super dry. In the Netherlands, the coldness with the wind chill, it feels wet. So you get this kind of like bone chilling, wet kind of feeling. Whereas in Canada, the coldness feels more dry and kind of just like, hard to explain. I don't think I'm explaining it well, but that's what's coming to my mind right now. So it's a very different kind of cold here. And yeah, it feels like my tolerance for cold is just dwindling here, maybe because I've been here for quite some time now and I haven't experienced a Canadian winter in a very long time. But anyways, back to the other hobbies that I enjoy. Hiking, biking, I do enjoy, and I'm gonna try to get out there more. Also, I have been going to a lot more concerts lately. So yeah, I think I've been talking about concerts on and off on this channel for the past years, but I've noticed that I've been looking for more concerts to go to because I just find them to be super fun. Just being in the moment and enjoying the live shows, knowing that a lot of the artists that I grew up with and artists who made music that I enjoyed are getting older. They're stopping touring altogether. A lot of them have passed as well. So I feel like it's like the last opportunity, if they're still touring, that, you know, I should go see them while I can still. So, so I'm kind of focusing more on going to shows and just, you know, enjoying those shows, knowing that they might not be doing shows anymore or much longer. So on Saturday, a few days ago, I actually went to see Ray Wilson at the Boerdery in Zoetermeer, and he was actually a former member of Genesis. And I am a huge fan of Genesis, and especially Phil Collins. So he sang a lot of Genesis songs, but also some Phil Collins songs. And I love that group, and I love Phil Collins. And it was really nice to hear a lot of the songs from those two that I really enjoy. So I saw him a few days ago, and actually tomorrow I will be seeing Boys to Men in concert in Amsterdam. So I'm super excited about that. My very first concert that I went to, where I bought the ticket with my own hard-earned money, was Boys to Men. And I can't remember which year, maybe early 90s. And so this will be the second time that I'll be seeing them, and I love Boys to Men. They were a big part of my early teens as well. I love so much of their music, so I'm so excited about seeing them tomorrow. So more concerts is what I would like to spend more of my time on. And also I have like some guidelines that I would like to stick to. For example, when I'm out at a meal with someone or people, I don't want phones on. Well, I won't be using my phone. I'll just put it away completely. Whereas before I would be like checking my email or something, or checking something online while I'm eating. I just want to put my phone away at mealtime just so that I can, you know, have my focus on the person or people that I'm with and enjoy the time that way. Also, I don't want to use my phone until after I eat breakfast. It's so easy to like wake up and pick up your phone and check stuff, which is what I have done in the past. I have done that recently with Black Friday as well, because I wanted to check what was going on with Black Friday on that day. But I'm working on this one. It's hard. But I don't want to touch my phone until after breakfast. And then during breakfast, I just want to read. Or even before breakfast. If I wake up a little bit early, I will read some of my book, even just a few pages. That'll be fine. Or when I'm at the breakfast table, I'll be drinking my coffee and having breakfast with a book and not on my phone. So that's a nice way to kind of start the day. There have been times where I've woken up, checked my phone, and I saw something scary or worrisome on the news, and that would affect my whole day going forward. So I want to just start my day off slower and more quietly with just reading, or even just listening to music or some podcast or something like that, just to slowly get up and to start my day. So those are the biggest changes that I have made to lead a more simple life and a more enjoyable life. Now, don't get me wrong, I still use social media. I enjoy social media still for the things that I need it for. So especially for Facebook, it's contact with other people, and WhatsApp as well, of course, keeping contact with other people. Instagram is fun to see what's going on in the perfume world, and I enjoy looking at the stories, and I also post stuff sometimes as well. Mostly stories once in a while. So I just like to limit my time and just not spend too much time. And then with YouTube, I stick mostly to my subscriptions, but then if I see something else, I'll watch it. But that's my favorite platform to use. But just making sure that I limit my time so that I can use the majority of my extra time in a more fulfilling way. So I'm losing my tongue again. As a result of all of these changes, it feels like I have pressed the reset button on my life, with my life. Since the event of losing my mother last year, I'm kind of rebuilding myself. And it still hurts a lot whenever I think about it, but I have to move on with my life and move forward. And I want to move forward in the most positive way that I can. And so as a result, I have noticed that where am I going? As a result from incorporating all of these things into my life, I just found that I have less stress in general. I feel like I'm living more simply, and that's mostly the way I have lived my life before social media became too overwhelming. Things are less complicated as well. I feel just a more sense of calm in me, and I don't feel like addicted anymore to those dopamine hits that I would get sometimes from watching reels or shorts. And also, I'm finding that I'm having more patience with myself. My attention span also is longer now, whereas before I felt like my attention span with anything really, like watching movies, especially with Netflix, I would get pretty bored pretty quick, but now I would give it some time. So I'm finding that my attention span is now longer, and I'm having more patience with myself and with other people as well. And yeah, it's just all things positive. This shift, this digital detox, for the most part, it's just had a very positive impact in my life. And I'm really liking this new rebuilt me, because I honestly felt so broken when that happened. And yeah, it's over a year later, and I'm still working on it, but it's definitely in the right direction. And that's why I wanted to make a video of this, because I know there are people struggling out there with a lot of stress. We have to deal with it some way, and there are many ways to deal with these things in life. But this is how I've been dealing with it, and it's been working, and I am just loving life so much more. So yeah, I hope that answers or discusses the topic enough. I hope I answered your question to the viewer who asked me to elaborate on this shift. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I think I covered everything, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. And I would love to hear about your experiences with social media and what impact it has had on you. and whether you think it's too much nowadays and what have you been doing to deal with it. I would love to hear about that. If you have also any tips or tricks to how to deal with it, then that would be very helpful. Not even just for me, but anyone else who felt like it was getting too overwhelming. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Another super long chit chat video. I plan on doing more, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.